Mr. President, if I may ask
Peter,
one
go
other
ahead.
question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President.
That's enough.
A White House news conference takes a very strange and ugly turn. President Trump's ongoing feud with the media went there today at the White House.
In particular, the president's public disdain for CNN went to another level altogether. Kick on political reporter Dave Bryan joins us now and shows the fireworks and the fallout. Somebody got their press pass taken away.
That's
today.
exactly right. That happened this evening, and so this is kind of still a developing story at this hour. It was one of the most combative news conferences President Trump has had since he took office, filled with accusations of racism and enemy of the people. Things got so bitter that by the end of the day, the White House refused to allow a CNN correspondent to enter the White House grounds. But it certainly didn't start that way.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi, I give her a great deal of credit for what she's done and what she's accomplished.
Perhaps the biggest surprise about President Trump's 90-minute wild and crazy news conference was that it started on such a soft and cuddly note as the president appealed to the Democratic House leader, whom he ridiculed and trashed on a regular basis, to work with him when the Democrats take control of the House. And soon the tone took a big turn for the worse as President Trump engaged in a verbal battle with CNN White House correspondent Jim Acosta, who questioned whether a migrant caravan heading for the border but still hundreds of miles away constitutes an invasion of America.
That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings
Let
would
me
be
ask,
much better.
if I may ask one other question. Mr. President, if I may ask
Peter,
one
go
other
ahead.
question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's
Mr.
enough.
President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President.
That's enough. Just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, no, you are the enemy of the people. CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. That's enough. Put down the mic.
To engage in these kinds of ad hominem personal attacks and claiming that they're enemy of the people is really at a different level.
But it didn't end there. Later in the day, the White House suspended Acosta's press credentials and denied him access to the White House grounds to do his job. The Washington Post reports the move to punish Acosta by removing his access is believed to be unprecedented.
I do think they're trying to shut us down to some extent inside the White House press corps, and to some extent I think they're trying to send a message to our colleagues.
And Acosta wasn't alone. The president attacked this question by a PBS reporter as well.
You called yourself a nationalist. Some people saw that as emboldening white nationalists. Now people are also
I don't
saying
know why you'd
that
say
the
that.
president.
It's such a racist question. Honestly, I mean, I know you have it written down and you're going to tell me. Let me tell you, it's a racist question.
And President Trump called out and ridiculed some members of his own party, Republican Congress members or candidates who distanced themselves from him in the midterm campaign and did not invite him to campaign for them and lost.
Mike Kaufman. Too bad, Mike. Peter Roscom didn't want the embrace. And Barbara Comstock was another one. I mean, I think she could have won that race. Mia Love gave me no love. And she lost. Too bad. Sorry about that, Mia.
Now, tonight, the White House charges that CNN White House correspondent Jim Acosta, we saw, that his credentials were being suspended, at least temporarily, because they say he grabbed the arm of the White House intern who you saw in that report who was trying to take the microphone away from him at the news conference. Acosta says he did not grab the intern's arm, and the videotape appears to confirm that.